guys, my name is Megan and today I've got my October wrap up for you. Alright, so October was actually a really great reading month for me. I think it actually rivals February with being the most amount of books I've read in a month. I think the total they came to is probably 11, maybe 12, I'm not sure. I'll have a final total over here in the corner when I get it figured out. Anyway, let's go ahead and just dive into what I read this month. Alright, so the first book that I read this month was Halfway to the Grave. So this one I did end up DNFing at 130 pages. This book has been on my TBR for a very long time. This is probably one of the first books that I actually put on my TBR on Goodreads, and this did not really live up to my expectations for what I was looking for. So this one did end up being a DNF, which was a little disappointing, but you know, whatever. I read so many other good books this month that it doesn't even matter at this point. So the next book that I finished was Spooky Smutty Stories, Classic Tales Gone Gay. This was just such a fun anthology of classic horror stories, or, you know, classic urban legends and spooky folklore that got turned into a horror romance, and it was just really good. This one got a solid 4 out of 5 stars. Okay, so next up I finished Starlight Kisses. This is the 11th book in the Mountain Springs Omega series. This one I didn't love as much as I was hoping. I mean, it was still really great. It was really fluffy and cute and not necessarily spooky, but it was definitely cute. I just felt like it didn't fit in with the other books in this series, so this one got a 2.75 stars from me. Okay, so next up I finished What Big Teeth. This book was so much fun. It's very much inspired by the Addams Family, but it also gives me Coraline vibes and The Haunting of Bly Manor vibes. And it's like the Addams Family, but more murdery, and my lights just fell, so that's super great. This was very spooky, and it just felt like a delve into this horror landscape that I wasn't expecting. I do have a book review coming out in November for this one, so keep an eye out for that. This one got a solid 4 to 5 stars, and it was really good, and I would highly recommend it if you haven't read it yet. It's a slow-moving, kind of Victorian-inspired horror book with all of these creepy creatures, and it's just perfect. So my first comic book that I read this month was Raven. This was actually really good. I loved that this followed Raven, or Rachel Roth, as she kind of loses her memories and has to deal with her demonic powers. And it's set in New Orleans, and like the city is just as much of a character as Raven or her cousin, or any of the other characters really, and it's just so pretty, and I love this use of color. It's very minimalistic on the color, but it also really stands to highlight what's going on in the story, and it's just so good. I really like that Raven got to figure out how her power works, and you know, we got little peeks of Slade here and there doing his thing, and this was just really good. This one got a 4 out of 5 stars. Highly recommend it. Okay, so next up I read Halloween Boo. This was a spooky romance that I picked up last year for free, I think. And I do think this one you can probably find this one for free in the Kindle app shop. It just kind of depends. This was basically Hocus Pocus fan fiction, and it was great. I really liked it. About this ghost haunting an apartment, and the girl kind of falls in love with the ghost, and on Halloween the ghost ends up being corporal for one night, and you know, things happen. This was actually really good. I enjoyed it. This got a solid 4 to 5 stars, and it's super short. You know, if you're still looking for spooky romances to read, this is definitely one to pick up before Halloween. All right, so the next book that I read was not actually on but I read it anyway because it was cute and it was Halloween themed, and I just couldn't resist. And that is the Little Gotham Special Edition Halloween. Anyway, here's the thing. It was really cute and I liked it, and this one focused more on Damien as Robin, and you know, Damien actually acting like a kid on Halloween, and it was just really cute and colorful and just kind of cute. This got a 3 out of 5 stars from me. Alright, so the next book that I finished this month was Horrid. This book is very spooky and scary. One night when I was reading this, I scared myself because I was reading ahead a little bit, and it just creeped me out really bad. And yeah, I couldn't really go to sleep until I read something that was a little cuter and not as scary as this. So there's that. This book will scare the pants off of you. It's very like a psychological ghost haunting horror book. It's so scary. And that's all you really need to know. It's scary. And if you're into horror books, you should check this one out. This one got a 4 to 5 stars from me. So the next book that I finished this month was Spooky Smutty Stories 2. This is the second book of short horror romances from Claire Cray. This one is actually really interesting. And I do remember reading these short stories when they came out in her newsletter last year. And they were all really interesting and different and just kind of weird and creepy and a really fun collection. This one got a 4 to 5 stars from me. Okay, so the next book that I finished was Fangs. This was just such a really great manga. It's kind of a little bit of a slice of life, but it's vampires and figuring out how the vampire life works. Let's see if I can find stuff that I can actually show you, because this one is 18 plus. And I really like the aesthetics of this book. It's just such an interesting concept of this vampire organization trying to protect vampires, but also, you know, making sure they get the blood they need and they have a life partner and, you know, somebody to just be there when things get overwhelming. Also, there's a turtle named Darwin that is just adorable, and I love him. And I mean, who wouldn't love this cute little art style sometimes? This got a solid 5 out of 5 stars. I would highly recommend reading it if you are over 18, but it's really, really good, and it's very sweet and cute. So the next book that I finished this month was Exit Strategy. This is the 4th book in the Murderbot Diaries series, and oh my god, I loved it so much. So this one, Murderbot's actually back to being its sassy, sarcastic self, and I loved it because I think if you guys remember from the last Murderbot Diaries book I read, Murderbot was very sad and anxious, and Murderbot was back to being sassy and just all around it's just anxious little self in this one, and I loved it. Also, from book 3 to book 4, there's so much character growth, and I really like the adventure that we go on in this one. I'm not going to spoil it because you guys should definitely read the Murderbot Diaries. So much character growth. It is just so amazing, and I loved it. And we get to see all of our favorite characters from All Systems Red again, and yes, it's perfect. This one got a solid 5 out of 5 stars, and I would highly recommend reading the Murderbot Diaries. Okay, and then we are on to the book that I am reading as of filming this video, and that is The Witch's Wolves. This book was also something that was not on my reading list when I started this month, but you know, it felt like it was the perfect romance to end October on, and it's just so good. It's very soft and sweet, definitely not for those under 18, but it's a cute, fluffy witch and werewolf romance, and it's just really cute, and I've already written a review for it because I've only got a couple pages left. This one I'm giving a solid 4 stars. It's so good, and it's just soft and sweet, and it's kind of got that cozy feeling to it for the end of fall, or, you know, for the midst of fall, I guess. Alright, so those are all of the books that I read in October. What did you guys read this month? Let me know down below. Also, did you have a favorite book? My favorite books would have to be a tie between Exit Strategy and Fangs, but I really did enjoy every book that I read this month. I hope you guys have a very happy Halloween. If you guys like this video, don't forget to hit the like button. If you haven't already but would like to, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. And if you'd like to follow me on social media for more bookish stuff, check out the links down below. Alrighty, bye guys!